Every powerful structure has a breaking point. It does not matter how long it has stood, it does not matter how many storms it has survived, or how many times its builders claimed it was untouchable. When the cracks go deep enough and spread wide enough, even the mightiest structure begins to shake from within. For 12 years, the APC has presented itself to Nigerians as an unbreakable political machine. It swept into power in 2015 on the back of a promise to transform Nigeria. It survived internal disagreements, defections, and public criticism. It held on through two administrations and emerged from every challenge still standing, still governing, still claiming to be the only party capable of leading Africa's most populous nation. But something is different now. What is happening inside the APC today is not the kind of manageable turbulence that political parties routinely absorb and move past. What is unfolding is a deeper, more dangerous kind of crisis, one that is playing out in the open, involving some of the most powerful figures in the party and threatening to fracture the very foundation that Bola Tinubu needs to win the 2027 election. Governors are clashing, senators are at each other's throats, heavyweights within the party are calling for the removal of their own colleagues, and members are living not in ones and twos, but in numbers that are beginning to tell a story the APC cannot spin its way out of. What exactly is happening inside Nigeria's ruling party? Who is fighting who? And does this mean that the APC's grip on power is finally beginning to loosen? Everything is coming. Stay with us. If you are new here, subscribe right now and turn on your notification bell. Share this video before we continue because every Nigerian needs to understand what is happening inside the party currently running this country. Now, let us get straight into it. The APC has spent years telling Nigerians that it is the party of structure, discipline, and national vision. That narrative is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain. Across multiple fronts simultaneously, the ruling party is dealing with internal conflicts that are no longer hidden behind closed doors. These are public, visible, and deeply damaging disagreements between some of the most senior figures in the APC, and the timing, just under 2 years to the 2027 general election, could not be worse for President Bola Tinubu. Let us start with the governors. The APC Governors Forum, which is supposed to serve as a united body coordinating the party's activities across the states it controls, has fractured. In a dramatic development that sent shockwaves through the party, the Governors Forum held a meeting and removed Hope Uzodinma, the Imo State Governor, from his position as Forum Chairman. This is not a minor administrative reshuffle. The removal of a sitting governor from the chairmanship of the Governors Forum through what appears to be an internal power struggle signals a level of division at the very top of the APC state-level leadership that the party can ill afford. When governors, the most powerful political figures in their respective states, cannot agree on who should lead their own forum, it raises serious questions about their ability to coordinate effectively for a presidential election campaign. A divided governors forum means divided state structures. Divided state structures mean inconsistent voter mobilization, and inconsistent voter mobilization in a tight election is the difference between winning and losing. But the trouble does not stop at the governor's level. Inside the National Assembly, a conflict is brewing between two of the APC's most formidable personalities, Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former party chairman Senator Adams Oshiomhole. These are not peripheral figures. Akpabio controls the legislative agenda of the entire Nigerian Senate. Senator Adams Oshiomhole, as a former APC national chairman and current senator, carries enormous influence within the party structure and among its members. When two men of this weight go to war with each other, the collateral damage spreads far beyond their personal rivalry. Oshiomhole has reportedly been calling for the removal of Akpabio as Senate President. Whether this push succeeds or fails, the fact that it is happening at all is deeply damaging for the APC. It exposes fault lines within the party's legislative leadership at a time when Tinubu needs his senators united behind his agenda and his 2027 campaign. A Senate divided against itself cannot effectively pass the legislation a sitting president needs to point to as evidence of governance, and a party seen to be consuming itself from within is not one that inspires confidence among undecided voters. Beyond the internal power struggles, the APC is also bleeding members. Over recent weeks, the party has witnessed a wave of defections that is growing impossible to dismiss as routine political movements. Senators, lawmakers, and prominent party figures are leaving the APC and moving to opposition platforms, particularly the ADC and the NDC. Each departure weakens the party's legislative majority, reduces its organizational strength at the grassroots, and hands the opposition a ready-made narrative about a ruling party in terminal decline. When elected officials who have everything to gain from staying close to power choose to walk away, it tells you something important. It tells you that from the inside, the picture looks even worse than what the public can see from the outside. For President Tinubu personally, these developments represent a compounding political headache. His administration has already been dealing with the public fallout from economic policies that have made daily life significantly harder for ordinary Nigerians. Fuel prices remain painfully high. Food costs continue to stretch household budgets beyond breaking point. The naira has struggled to stabilize. Youth unemployment continues to drive frustration among the very demographic that determines election outcomes in a country as young as Nigeria. In that environment, a president seeking re-election needs his party to be his strongest asset. Instead, the APC is increasingly becoming a liability, a source of noise, conflict, and embarrassment that distracts from whatever positive story the administration is trying to tell. Meanwhile, the opposition is finding its footing. Peter Obi has settled into the NDC and continues to hold the loyalty of a movement that has proven its resilience through multiple platform changes. His supporters, young, motivated, and increasingly organized, have demonstrated that their commitment is to a person and a vision, not simply a party logo. Atiku Abubakar, operating within the ADC, brings his own formidable political network to the opposition side of the equation. His reach across the north, combined with years of experience navigating Nigerian presidential politics, makes him a serious force regardless of the internal challenges the ADC has been facing. Together, the opposition landscape, though still fragmented, is presenting the APC with a multi-front challenge that a divided ruling party is poorly positioned to manage. And underneath all of this political maneuvering, something else is happening that deserves serious attention. Nigerians are getting their permanent voter cards. Quietly, in registration centers across the country, citizens are completing the process that gives them the legal right to participate in the 2027 election. The energy around voter registration, particularly among young Nigerians who feel the impact of this administration's policies, most directly suggests that the 2027 election could see a level of civic participation that exceeds anything in recent Nigerian electoral history. A high turnout election, driven by economic frustration and political awareness, is the APC's worst nightmare, because high turnout in Nigeria today does not favor a ruling party presiding over hardship. It favors change. The APC built its identity on being the change party. It rode that identity to power in 2015 and has governed ever since. But you cannot be the change party and the establishment simultaneously. You cannot promise transformation and deliver suffering, and you cannot hold together a fractured coalition of powerful, ambitious politicians when the glue of shared victory begins to dissolve. The party that once seemed untouchable is now visibly struggling. Whether it can pull itself together before 2027 remains to be seen. But one thing is already clear: the road to a second Tinubu term just became significantly more difficult than it looked 12 months ago. That is the complete political analysis of what is happening inside the APC and what it means for the 2027 election. Every Nigerian needs to see this breakdown. Share this video right now, post it on your WhatsApp status, send it to your group chats, and spread it across every platform you have. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think the APC can survive this internal crisis before 2027? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification bell so you are always the first to get our updates. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay ready, and remember, your PVC is your most powerful weapon in 2027. See you in the next video.